Recording? Alright, welcome to the 12th Man FC podcast. It is June 20th, 2017, and I am your host, Alejandro Ruiz, and thank you for joining us on the very first episode of the 12th Man FC podcast. This podcast will be a podcast for the fans. This one is for everyone who has an opinion about the beautiful game of football that we all care about so deeply. This podcast is for those of us who wish we had more of a say in the game. Those of us who think we have some pretty ideas about where the game should be heading and where the game is right now. This podcast is for those of us who wish that we could somehow delve into the lives of the players that we idolize oh so dearly. This is for those guys, guys like myself. Yeah, well, anyway, that's enough about me for now. Again, thanks for joining. Let's start the show.
Thiago. Messi. Oh. Messi!
Messi! Are you kidding me? A work of art! This man is absolutely mainline to pure footballing magic that belongs in a different galaxy altogether.
Yeah, see, it still doesn't work. Why?
Well, you might have to. It's not usually have to accept.
Oh, see,
there we go.
Can you see me?
No, was it loaded for a second?
Yeah,
though?
see, what the fuck? What's going on, man? I don't understand. No, I don't know why, but it was working last time.
Yeah, try something. Try to do like a picture off your laptop. See if the camera's actually working.
Yeah, no, it did that too, man, and it didn't work, man.
Yeah, so something's wrong with the camera then. Hold on.
Hold up. Yeah.
Hold on.
Alright. I know what it is, man. It had on privacy for some reason.
Yeah, bro, you still wearing that Hiram shirt? I got mine too.
Yeah, I wear this shit like every day, man.
It's a nice shirt.
Yeah, man. Hey, well, guys, thanks a lot for joining the first official 12th Man FC podcast. Again, I really appreciate you guys, helping me out with this. There's a lot to talk about. First things first, I guess I should have you guys introduce yourselves. I guess I'll start with Marcus, since you're on my left. You're the first one.
Yeah. So my name is Marcus Lonazak. I live in Ypsilanti, Michigan. I went to Hiram with these two other Hiram College. It's south of Cleveland. With these two other boys here. We played indoor every day, maybe every day. Watched a lot of football together. So, my main teams are Real Madrid and Hertha Berlin. That's my Bundesliga team. And then U.S. national team and the German national team. So those four. And I mainly pay attention to the Bundesliga and La Liga, although I watch the big EPL games. So, yeah, that's all about me.
Alright.
For me, my name is Courtney Walton. I live in Toronto, Canada. Like Marcus said earlier, I went to school with these boys at Hiram, but I didn't play soccer or American or football.
Trust me, I didn't play either.
I played American football. For me, I only support one club, and that's the Red Devils, Manchester United. I follow most of the Premier League, but I watch the big matches such as the derbies and other leagues.
Alright, well, yeah, again, guys, thanks a lot for joining the show. So, I guess the first things first. I want to talk about the breaking news for today. I'll just start right off with it. Dani Alves, it seems he's about to sign a 2-year contract with Manchester City. I've heard already there's a lot of mixed reviews. A lot of people seem to disagree with Pep's choice here. Personally, I think it's a great choice. I think Dani Alves, he's 34 years old now. He still has a lot of gas left in the tank. It was a huge mistake for Barca to even get rid of him. He had a tremendous season with Juventus this last season. made it all the way to the Champions League final, won the league. I mean, the guy is still great. What are your thoughts?
Marcus, you wanna go first?
I'll start then.
Yeah, go ahead, Marcus.
Yo, so first of all, Barca, huge mistake. I mean, if you have somebody better than him, then get rid of him. But Sergio Roberto, I guess they thought Alexi Vidal would be his replacement, but that didn't pan out. For Man City, I don't know, Sanya, who's the other one? I know it's Sanya, and it's going to be Alves maybe. So those are the two guys. Sanya is much slower. He's not as quick as he used to be, so for the Prem, he seems to be a bad fit now. The only thing I would worry about Dani Alves is maybe his strength, but there are many right backs. Like Nathaniel Klein on Liverpool is a lot like Dani Alves, so I think it's a good signing. Unless they pay too much for him. I mean, but...
Well, it seems like they're going to get him for a relatively cheap transfer fee, right? I mean, I saw today maybe £5 million or something.
Yeah, that's a penny nowadays.
That's a bargain. That's a bargain buy. And also, Marcus, Sané is not there no more. They released him. His contract was up, so they have no right back in the team right now. Because Zabaleta also went to West Ham.
Old too, so
and he went to West Ham. So to me, for that kind of price, you can't really get it wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
For a couple of years, like he still presents a great challenge going forward.
Yeah.
In Pep's system, you don't really defend a lot too, because the fullback can be pushing so high anyway. So like,
and in times where you need a goal or a counter attack, I mean, if you need a goal, you're a goal down. He can almost be a right winger. And on counter attacks, he'll be very good as well. So yeah, it's a good signing, I believe.
And one thing we're not realizing is his impact on the dressing room too. Like you never heard one teammate say that he's a bad teammate, bad thing in the locker room. Like he brings a lot to the team. Like if you see that Barca, he always brought the team together, and we've seen how Barca is without him now.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Courtney. I didn't even think about his effect on the dressing room at first. I was thinking in terms of like winning trophies and stuff like that. How good is he gonna be? Can he still last for 90 minutes? That sort of deal. But you raise a very good point. His ability to make friends out of his teammates, I think, is sometimes overlooked, because he seems to be the type of person that gels quite easily with his environment. And also, you have to remember his past relationship with Pep already.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
they've both tasted.
Well, that has to be a big reason for this.
Why he came,
why he might go to City.
And then we also got to remember that Barca didn't really let him go. He wanted to leave Barca because he felt disrespected also, right? So it's not like Barca said, "Hey, you go ahead." Like he felt disrespected. His contract was up. He said,
New challenge.
You know what? Let me show you guys what you guys are gonna miss. And he's proven that this year.
Yeah, I can definitely agree. Well, sticking in the Prem, I can't really mention Pep and Manchester City without even touching on Jose Mourinho and United. Have you guys heard about his breaking news story about this
tax
problem in Spain?
But see, the thing with the tax thing is, I never take it that seriously. But how many times has Ronaldo, or maybe not even Ronaldo, but Messi, players, they seem to hype this up a lot, and unfortunately, I mean, the justice system isn't always going to be the same. These players are not going to serve jail time like we read on Twitter.
Right.
So I just don't buy. I mean, I saw the same thing about Modric, that he's something for fraud in Croatia.
So why is everything in Spain? It looks like, man. You don't really hear about this going on in any other league. Why is this so big in Spain?
So do you know Sid Lowe? He's a good ESPN commentator. He had a good thing about Spain and just their culture of not being organized, and you can see that in La Liga as well. So he says that's boiling it down, but yeah, they have big problems with tax evasion in Spain, more than in a country like England or Germany for sure.
Yeah, you don't really hear about this even like the smaller countries, like even Italy or even like Argentina and stuff. You don't really hear about the tax evasion on players.
And in Spain, you also hear about players on smaller teams in La Liga not even getting paid on time. So
that's true too.
Like at Osasuna, that happened before, so they just have a big problem with organization.
To me, I don't really like why all of a sudden all this is coming on all at one time. Like where was all this going on before? Like you don't receive taxes 1 year or next or like another year. Like why is everything coming out now? First Ronaldo, now Mourinho.
Yeah,
Like,
very
to me,
true.
it's kind of suspect to me.
Very true. To touch on Marcus's point though, I'm not sure how big of a deal it really is because, like Marcus was saying earlier, I mean these things have a way of just going away, right? I mean,
Yeah, you've seen that with Messi, right?
exactly, and you've seen it also.
A year
with
ago, he had the big
Mascherano.
issue as well.
Exactly. You know, I mean, there was the whole Neymar,
Neymar.
issue. I mean, these players, the demand to see these players, it far outweighs sort of any sort of law, for lack of better words. You know, I mean,
That's true.
That's kind of shitty to say, but like Marcus was saying earlier, I highly doubt that these guys will face any sort of consequences, you know, any major consequences, being jail time or anything else. At the most, perhaps a fine or something, you know, which is
Yeah, that's all it comes down. They're gonna
These
pay their
guys-
money. They have money. They're millionaires. Like, okay,
Exactly.
pay your tax money off or whatever situation, and then
exactly.
you be
But
Or probation.
free. Yeah.
sticking with Mourinho though, I do want to talk about the transfer window. So far, United has had a bit of a mixed transfer window, to say the very least. Well, what do you think, Courtney?
I wouldn't say mixed. I feel like it's been terrible.
So,
You haven't really seen. Yeah, you're gonna hear rumors of links to certain kind of players, but to me, the players that he's looking to buy are Manchester United material.
and they,
I would argue if they were to get Morata here soon. But they
Well,
haven't actually put in a bid for Morata.
Yeah,
That's the
to-
problem. But I
to
think
me-
Morata is a United quality player.
Oh no,
absolutely.
for sure. I agree with that. But we don't know what's going on with the whole Madrid and Manchester United relationship, right? Because Real Madrid also want De Gea. Well, they say they want De Gea.
Well, do you guys
We don't-
remember what happened with De Gea about
Yeah,
a year
so-
ago? No?
So necessarily we don't know that relationship, how they built that relationship, because we did sign Di Maria from them after that whole situation too, as well. But right now with Tino Perez signing that new contract, who knows how they're gonna handle every situation.
Very true. Cody, you mentioned earlier about United signings not being, or United's potential signings not being up to par, you know, up to the quality or the standard that you'd like to see. What do you think about someone like Perisic, Ivan Perisic at Inter Milan, 55 mil?
See, to me, it all comes down to what I look at it now too is the transfer fee they're spending on these players. Like $55 million for a player that scores 6 goals. That's not guaranteed necessarily to be in your starting 11.
Yeah.
What's the reason to spend $55 million on a player like?
Yeah, he's a good player. I would buy him, but that's a ridiculous price.
Yeah.
But if you look at Manchester United's team right now, can you say he's a guaranteed starter?
No, absolutely not. He'd be a
I
squad
wouldn't-
player.
I wouldn't start him over Martial. Wouldn't start him over Mkhitaryan. Wouldn't start him over Mata. But where is he gonna play?
Yeah,
behind
but
the.
he is the Mourinho type of player though. Mourinho does tend to like these kind of guys that are easily programmed. You know, they lack creativity. They're sort of just do what you're told kind of players. You know what I mean? And I think.
And he's a very hard worker as
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
So,
He's a
Well, to
very
me,
hard
out of that's good. Yeah, I want players that are gonna work, but also you need some more. Or we looking at the old Ferguson team. We still had some flair to the team. We had
well, Perisic does have some flair. He has some skill. I mean, he used to
Oh,
play
don't-
for Dortmund, so I would watch him.
Don't get
when
me
he
wrong.
played for Dortmund.
I don't think he's a terrible player. To me, I'm saying like compared to like a Manchester. If you look back to the old Manchester United teams,
Yeah, you're right about that.
he would not make that team at all.
Very true.
And don't get me wrong, we had some terrible teams even when Ferguson was about to retire, but he always got the best out of his players. To me, I don't feel like Mourinho does that. Because whatever Mourinho wants, if you don't do what he wants, you don't play. Look at his treatment of the young players. I don't agree.
He doesn't seem to be a nurturing kind of coach, does he? I mean, you can argue that, yeah, well, he plays Marcus Rashford, but I sort of felt like at times this season he didn't have much of a choice but to play
Exactly.
Rashford. You know, I
And
can't
Rashford really didn't even start playing towards the end of the season, really, when Zlatan got hurt.
That's hurt. Yeah. Well, I also wanted to talk about Chelsea as well, right? It's so funny how we're not hearing so much about Chelsea right now, other than the whole Diego Costa situation with Conte kicking him out, and there's been a very quiet start to the transfer window for Chelsea, don't you think? Marcus, what do you think?
I don't think they need too much. I mean, if they lose Costa, then I do think they need a striker. But they had that guy, what is his name, Patiushi or something like that. He was a squad player.
Yeah.
But I heard good things about him. But the defense was solid. I don't see any needs. I mean, I heard Bonucci might be interested in reuniting with Conte.
Yeah, that was
But,
class.
I mean, you have to admit the attack was very good with Pedro and Hazard on the wing. You had Willian with the free kicks. I mean, oof. It was, and then Fabregas seemed to have a good year somewhat. So it gave the impression that I don't think the core of the team, you don't need to add too much more. Maybe a striker, maybe some more flair, but the core with Matic was also very good.
See, this is Marcus. This is where I disagree with you, because other teams in the Premier League are going to be getting better, right? Yeah, Chelsea had a good year, but we see what happened in the year when they won the title with Mourinho. What happened the next year? It's the same. They brought the same exact squad, and they finished.
But I think that was also Mourinho. At the end of that, you have to remember at the end of that season when they won the Premier League, he literally parked the bus in every game.
Oh no, I agree with you on that, but I'm just saying normally every year you have to at least strengthen your squad because other teams like we know City can be better. Hopefully United's better. Well, we don't know about Arsenal because we know Arsenal.
Yeah.
Liverpool should be getting better because they have Champions League this year, so they have more to offer to teams. So to me, I'm not saying I agree with you. They're saying they don't need much, but you gotta have few additions to make the squad better because they're also playing Champions League this year too. Right. They didn't play Champions League last year.
That's very true.
Courtney, you actually raised a very good point. Is the Premier League so competitive now that it is impossible or extremely hard, at least, for you to keep the same squad and win it back to back? Do you think, I guess my question would be, what do you think Chelsea's chances are of winning the league again if the squad was to stay relatively the same? Obviously, they have to get a new striker if Costa is really leaving. But if they keep the core group of players that they have, what if you were to put a percentage chance on Chelsea being able to retain the title next season? What would you say, Courtney?
I would say it was 70% right now. It all depends what other teams do in the transfer markets. Because if we look at the way Conte set his team up after the start of this season, they didn't really drop points.
Yeah.
Well, towards the end, after they won the league, they dropped a few points here and there. But the way he set his team up, he got everything right last year. So it comes down to a team having to do better than what he did and get results against them.
Yeah, I mean he needs some more. Maybe a striker would be a good example. But the team is very well put together. I mean, Conte is a brilliant manager, I would say. Maybe the best, arguably. Maybe the best at getting results would be the thing to say. But yeah, Liverpool, I heard today they might get Mohamed Salah. So other squads are strengthening as well. Obviously, Man City are strengthening.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. But
Is Salah a Klopp type of player, though? You would know because you follow a lot of the German Bundesliga.
Oh, Salah is, man, he's very quick. So Klopp he doesn't like to program players like Mourinho, but he likes players that run a lot. Mm-hmm. He said the only statistic he cares about is the one where at the end when you see how much both teams ran, he says, I want my team to have run more. So I think Salah is a player who's quick, and he has some flair as well. So that would be a good signing.
But we also seen what he did in the Premier League for Chelsea, though he played on Mourinho and didn't really get an opportunity. Is he really a Premier League
that was Mourinho though as well.
Yeah.
See, Mourinho gave Cuadrado no chances, Salah no chance. He
Lukaku.
gave De Bruyne got no chance either.
That's
at Chelsea.
But are we putting those guys in that category though with De Bruyne, Lukaku? Because to me, Salah, he's good. Cuadrado's good, but
I think
to me they suited Serie A style better.
Yeah, right now I think Salah is a player that he has yet to prove himself. But
yes.
I would agree with Marcus in that he's a perfect style player for Klopp. Like, he's very quick, he works hard, he runs a lot, that sort of deal. He's quite creative. He had a very good season at Roma this past season as well. So I think I'd be willing to give him a chance, to say the very least.
And to create a lot in Serie A takes a lot of ability.
That takes some doing, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, the skill of the league is
the tactical side of the game is totally different in Italy.
But I also saw an article on ESPN FC about Salah perhaps not even getting a starting spot in the team.
I was just about to ask that
Well,
question.
who would he start over?
Where would he start?
The Liverpool teams, their main weakness was defense. I mean, if you looked at attack,
Oh, a striker
they
too.
were
I would think
very.
striker position. They were kind of weak too, though. Who? Firmino? I don't rate Firmino.
But
That's
so then my question would be: is Salah the type of player that Klopp should be going after? I mean, you have to ask yourself, where does his ambition lie here? Are you trying to win the Premier League, or are you just trying to win or stay in the top 4? You understand? Like, what is his ambition to win the league? Is
Well,
he
Klopp
trying
has to be the
win
guy
the
who-
Champions League?
I think he wants to win the league, but I think he's going to be realistic with Champions League. But they're going to go for the league. They're going for the league this year. There's knowing Klopp from the Bundesliga, he's not someone who sort of relaxes. I mean, he beat Bayern 2 years in a row. You got to realize how ridiculous that is with a team like Dortmund.
Yeah.
So I would say they're going to go for the league this year hard. And they need to sign a center back for sure, because Matip is all right, but he's aging. Lovren is soft. He's soft and weak. And who's the other guy? Scat with a S.
You're putting they need a left back of all position and a keeper.
Moreno, he's no good.
But Moreno was a scapegoat for.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
He wasn't good anyway, man. I mean, he just was. He's not good. It's just
They
that
need a
simple.
To sort of switch a Madrid player who's now probably going to leave is Contrao, and that would be a good signing, I believe.
Oh no, Conto shit too.
Now, people forget now that from 2011, those last 2 Mourinho seasons, that Contrao actually had Marcelo on the bench.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
look who you said. You said Mourinho again. Mourinho wants guys that don't go forward as a wing back, right?
Contrao does go forward though.
Yeah, but not
I
compared
think
to
he's pretty good.
Marcelo though. Marcelo's more of a winger than compared to Contra. So
Yeah. I mean, my point is just how good of a player are Liverpool able to attract right now? I mean, if Klopp's ambition is to win the league, how is it that he's linked with, and this is no disrespect to Salah, right? How is it that he's linked with players of that caliber versus someone like, I know he's injured now, but someone like Marco Reus? Why didn't we see Klopp being linked with someone of that stature? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I know they were linked with Mario Götze, and now he's come down with the metabolic illness. Marco Reus, it's a risky purchase, because Dortmund are going to want a lot of money. But you bring up a good point. Liverpool seem to have lost. Well, they've had it gone for a long time now. It seems that ability to bring in world-class players.
Yeah.
But let's be fair. When did Liverpool really bring in world-class players? When Suarez went there, Suarez wasn't a world-class player.
Yeah, they kind of got him after the World Cup, when he had sort of performed well. Yeah, it's a hard one.
With potential, though. I mean,
but he wasn't.
I would say Coutinho. I would say they purchased Coutinho and Firmino before they were world-class, and I wouldn't say they're world-class now, but they are getting to that point.
Well, I would say Coutinho is, but not Firmino. I don't rate him highly.
Yeah, but for me, he's okay. He's alright.
But Coutinho has the potential, but people are linking him with Barcelona. To me, he's not Barcelona quality yet. He has potential, but to me, no, he needs to stay exactly where he is at Liverpool.
I think we're also forgetting one very important person here who seems to constantly go under the limelight, and that is Danny Sturridge. Why? I mean, no one speaks about this guy. I know he's always hurt, but I have to say, he does have quite the potential. I have to say.
But he's always hurt. He's always something new too. It's not like he has one bad ankle or a bad knee. It's always a hamstring, knee, ankle, calf. It's always something new. Yeah, he's out for months at a time.
To me, he's not a Klopp type of player either. Klopp wants to play the pressing style of football also, right? Sturridge is not the type of striker that's going to work hard and press in the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, Sturridge had that one good season with Suarez when they should have won the league in 2014.
Yep.
I think after that, it's going to be difficult for him.
To me, I think he'd be best off moving to a club like West Ham or one of those lower level Premier League teams, just to gain fitness again, gain that confidence, and hopefully make the World Cup spot again.
You don't see Sturridge in the Champions League? You don't think he's good enough?
No. Not right now. Not currently. Not now. No.
But Liverpool are going to need a lot of players for the Champions League because they're going to have, what, 4 competitions with the League Cup, FA Cup, Premier League, and Champions League.
Yeah.
So you're going to need a lot of players.
But my thing is, Klopp should have some spending money. He's been there for what? This is going to be his 3rd year now. Klopp hasn't really spent any money on any players.
Yeah.
He spent a good amount on Firmino. He spent I think 40 million or something like that on Firmino.
No, but Firmino was there before he got there, wasn't he?
No. From Hoffenheim. Klopp bought Firmino from TSG
Okay,
Hoffenheim.
I thought Rodgers bought him. I couldn't remember.
No, Rodgers bought Coutinho.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, but I would say Klopp has to dish out on a center back. Whether that's from any of the leagues or from the Premier League, he has to get a good center back. Sort of a solid rock at the back there.
They need a left back and a goalkeeper also as well.
Absolutely, and I think the spotlight is gonna be a lot more on him this season because he won't have that excuse of being new to the league and new to Liverpool and that sort of thing this year. I think there is genuine expectation that he does well. Perhaps not winning the title, but challenging for it. You know what I mean?
And they were up there. They were up there last year for a while, right?
Yeah,
Sadio Mane was on fire. I mean, Sadio Mane is an athlete, but they need the consistency and they need the defensive. Because those games, you're gonna have those games where you don't play well, and the champions like Chelsea, because of the defensive capabilities, they can hold out for 90 minutes and get a 1-0 win. But if your defense is shit, I mean, and you have a bad game, it's not going to look too well.
Yeah, I agree.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, you know, now that we're talking about the Prem, right, I wanted to ask you guys what your feelings were in terms of how does the Prem stack up against other leagues in Europe? In your opinion, obviously, I mean, we can only speak from, obviously, we're fans of the game, we watch the game all the time. Obviously, the Premier League is the most popular league in the world, but that doesn't necessarily mean that quality-wise, it is up there. So
are we talking about the Premier League teams were in Champions League, or are we talking about league-wise, like league versus league?
No, okay. So you can. I'm actually glad that you said that. We were discussing earlier about Klopp's ambitions and whether or not he had the arsenal in order to excel in the league and in the Champions League. I think Marcus raised that point. How do you feel English clubs are doing or have been doing for the last few years in the Champions League? I mean, we've noticed the trend. Do you think the trend is going to continue?
Well, to me, I think City, with the signings they made so far, I feel like City had the best chance to, because Pep's style of football suits Europe better than it does in the Premier League. So I feel like City could be on the come up in the next couple of years. Hopefully United, with Mourinho having another year underneath his belt, he'll be able to get more players for the Champions League. He's actually in the Champions League this year.
Yeah.
Chelsea, the new year for Conte too as well. So I think this year they might do a little better. If you look at last year, Leicester made it to the round of 18, the quarterfinals. Nobody expected that from Leicester, so it was a success for them. But you have clubs like Arsenal every year, and they get to the round of 16, round of 32, and they never go anywhere.
Yeah, but so, Marcus, what about you? I mean, Klopp with his German style, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I think so. Right now, I don't think any English club could beat Bayern, Madrid, or Barcelona over 2 legs. Just being honest, and even Juventus probably. But the thing that always surprises me every year is that Man City lose to Monaco over 2 legs. Right? You have a situation like that, or where Manchester United the year before, they can't even get out of a group and they lose away to Wolfsburg. So they have to perform better against these sort of teams that I know the Premier League heads, they dismiss teams like Monaco as easy. I remember Arsenal thought, okay, we got an easy draw, and then they lost 3-1 at home. But it depends, because I think Man City have the best chance of going the furthest. It depends on the draw as well. I mean, if Klopp is drawn with a big team, or any of them are drawn with a Man City, with a Bayern or Madrid, it will be difficult. But let's remember, Man City
What do you feel about the expectation, though? I mean, we can guess all day as to what's gonna happen.
Well, it's always big. It's always going to be big on these teams because they're so hyped up, especially if you look at the United States. I mean, these are the only teams people are fans of. I mean, you might get a Madrid or Barca fan every once in a while, but I mean, Arsenal, Man City, Man U, Chelsea, these are the teams, Liverpool, those are the teams people support, so they expect them to win.
But look, I think we should be fair. I think we should be fair with that also too, because how many of those Premier League team clubs really have the expectation to win the Champions League? To me, I would only suggest 2, and that's and the clubs in Manchester, because of the managers they have and the money they're able to spend.
I would say Chelsea have the
Chelsea is now, but Chelsea, but to me, yeah, now they do, but they don't have. I feel like they don't. They have the spending power as Manchester United and City, but I don't know. I just feel different about them.
Yeah, Courtney, I think you raise a very good point, and I think that goes to show just how far ahead. I want to pick on Manchester United right now to make my point, but just how far ahead a club like Manchester United is in terms of stature than all of the other English teams. I mean, you look at a team like Liverpool, for example, right? 25 years ago, before we were even born, Liverpool was the big team in England, right? I mean, they won the Champions League, they won the league all the time, blah, 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 blah. However, in recent times, United has, I mean, the overhaul has been too real, you know, in terms of trophies, in terms of demand from the fans, because Liverpool isn't even really in this conversation right now in terms of expectation to win the league, but they actually finished above Manchester United in the league. You see my point here, you know, I mean, those two clubs, United and obviously recently City, because of the investment that the owners have made, the expectation there is through the roof. If they do not win, no one cares if they even make it to the final or make it to the semis. They have to win.
Win it, yeah.
But you can say that a team like Dortmund or Atletico Madrid, these two teams have a better chance of making it to the semifinals than any English club. And
I would agree with that.
So you already have then 5 teams who you put before any English club in the Champions League.
See, I wouldn't say Dortmund above, because we don't know, because Dortmund don't have the spending power as the Manchester clubs.
But neither does Atletico, and they've been into the semi-final.
Yeah, but their team is more. Their team is more like, you got to mix with Dortmund now too. Right? They're probably gonna lose a Aubameyang. Yeah, their team is more younger compared to Atletico. New manager as well. Where Atletico, their team's been together for, we say, at least the last 5 seasons now together, right?
Yeah.
And Simeone is one of the top managers in the world right now, so we can't.
Well, yeah, there's no question Atletico is on a higher level than Dortmund, but yeah, we have to see how the transfer window goes.
Yeah, that's why it comes down to it's too early right in the year to really say who's going to do well in Champions League.
Well, we know United get Morata. I mean, that's a game changer as well for me.
As you said, well, too, we don't know the draws either, right? Because United could get drawn a group of death, and we don't know what's going to happen in that, right? As well, too. So.
But I think we can all agree. I think we can all agree that the Prem is highly overrated, and that the Champions League shows that. I mean, the league itself might be the most entertaining. It might be the most sort of best to watch, because you can be a team of a fan like Everton, and you're not. I mean, no one in America's team Celta Vigo fan, right? Or came on or something like that. But you get Everton fans all across the world. So I understand the reason people love the league, but it's just not simply performing to its hypeness.
For me, I would say the other reason why people like the league too is just the pace of it. The speed of the game is not such slow. It's not really as technical as La Liga or the Bundesliga, right? Where
there's actually there's much more tactic.
Premier League is more back and forth kind of going, right? Where if you're playing the smaller clubs, nobody's really sitting. Clubs don't really sit back unless they're playing one of the larger clubs. If you're playing like a mid-major club, the ball's going back and forth, counter-attack here. The ball's going back and forth. Right? That's what
I have to say. When Burnley go to Old Trafford, they actually attack, right? When Hertha Berlin, when they go to the Allianz Arena, I mean, 10 defenders. So it's a different sort of approach as well.
So that's what makes it so enjoyable for fans to watch it, that are neutral fans of the game. Well, not necessarily neutral fans, but learning the game, because they're not looking at a player like Silva or someone's like, yo, he's technically good with the ball under his feet. There's like,
No, he's
yo,
just skillful.
oh, this guy's really fast. Look how fast he sprints up and down the field
Yeah.
and such that nature.
Yeah.
As a, you know,
Very true.
Yeah.
so
Very
as football
And it's
fans,
also a cultural thing as well. I mean, if
Yeah.
you look at countries like the United States, I mean, the Premier League is much more in tune to the sort of work hard, no matter what sort of.
yeah, it's more because
mentality.
the Premier League is also more about athleticism, and that's what American
Yes.
sports are based off of, right? Well, who can jump the highest? Who's the fastest? Who's the strongest? Where you're not really looking for who's
Same
the
in
most what's the
Canada
most
in many
skill-
ways
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, you see, that's why I was careful in the way that I phrased my initial question about the league, is that I was looking for more in terms of expectation. Because obviously we can sit down here and speculate all day. You know, I think Real Madrid is going to win the Champions League next season again. We don't know. But what we do know is the expectation for these clubs to perform. Or perhaps not know, but that's a lot easier to discuss. You know, I mean, you have a club, for example, I'll pick on Liverpool again, where the club, you would say, is still growing in terms of its presence in the current era. You know, they have yet to win a Premier League trophy. They haven't won the Champions League since 2005. I mean, that club is, it's by no means one of the top tier clubs in the world anymore, right? But back to what Marcus was saying about Dortmund earlier, I'd like to compare just for a second, because I think that both clubs are quite comparable.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
In terms of stature right now. You know, a club like Dortmund, they are also growing, and their ambition is clear, and they want to do well in the league, they want to do well in the Champions League. Every single year they seem to be improving. You have quite a few clubs, and I'll even throw in Monaco this last season. I mean, they were surprise contenders for a while. I mean, no one even expected them to make it to the semifinals. You know, they're also a growing team, and you have these teams in various leagues around Europe that have the potential to become great clubs. Why is it that still, though, we have Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Juventus always making it into the latter stages? Why is it that these clubs are able to maintain that quality? You know, to keep that level of expectation high and demand it every single year. Why is that? What do you guys think?
For me, I would say the prestige of the club. Right.
Liverpool was very prestigious as well, though. Is my
Yeah,
point.
but-
You know, back in the
yeah.
day, they lost that.
But that's true as well. But you gotta also look at the money aspect of the football world nowadays too, right? They had different ownership coming through. I think what is it? This Boston Celtics owner took over at Liverpool now, and I think that's been going on for the last like 5 or 6 years. So that's where you're starting to see the money being spent back again. But they don't. To me, they don't have the spending power such as Madrid, United. Look at you.
But it's not even as much.
Look at Juve now. They got their some of their players, and they sold players for the world record fee. So we're able to spend that money back in the market and get smart players that suit their style. And you gotta look at the overturn of each club too, right? Some clubs they change managers every year, every 2 years, something of that nature. You want more stability in the club. You don't want to change directors every year, change ownership every year. You need stability in the club to be successful nowadays.
Yeah, Marcus, you're gonna say something.
So, those three clubs we just mentioned, Real Madrid, Barca, Bayern, you don't say no to them. I mean, even if they pay you less, even if you're going to kind of sit on the bench, you have many players who've ruined their careers doing that, and then many who've actually improved their careers. I mean, look at Nuri Sahin from Dortmund to Madrid. Forgotten man from that, completely forgotten. But he was a starter at Dortmund. He was a star, Bundesliga player of the year. People thought he was on the same track as Mesut Özil, and he made that move because you can't say no when Real Madrid come calling, and it was his downfall. I think it's that as well. The prestige is the reason you can't say no. And then the youth academies, I mean, look at the talent that comes out of Bayern. Look at the talent that comes out of Madrid and Barca.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how many Madrid youth players have moved on, but you didn't even know were Madrid youth players?
Yeah,
Like
that's yeah,
Alvaro,
like,
like
yeah,
Alvaro
that's
Negredo,
yeah,
or
that's true.
Roberto
That's true.
Soldado.
Yeah.
And
Juan
then you
Mata.
also look at Bayern Munich. If you watched the Confederations Cup the other day, there was Sandro Wagner. He was the striker. He's a Bayern Munich youth academy, and you wouldn't even know that.
Wow.
So the amount of talent that comes out of these clubs as well, if they want to keep him, Barca, Bayern keep him more than Madrid, but then they also make a lot of money off of him.
So, Marcus, just I don't mean to stop you there, but you made a point about the Confederations Cup. That's interesting because that is something that I also wanted to discuss. Have you guys been keeping up with the Confederations Cup at all, or not really?
I've been keeping up. I've only watched the Germany-Australia game. That's the only one I've watched so far, but I've been keeping up.
I follow like the scores of the day, but during the workday period, I can't really watch the games. But during the weekends, I did watch the Portugal and Mexico game.
Yeah, I wasn't working on Monday, so I was able to check it out.
Well, I asked simply to ask this. How meaningful of a tournament do you even think the Confederations Cup is? I mean, you look at the timing of the tournament, you look at a club, a country like Germany, right? World champions who sent their not even B team, this is like the C team to the
prospect team,
Cup.
the prospect team.
Exactly. So how do you guys feel about the tournament on a whole? Like, how meaningful is it in the whole footballing world? I mean,
to me, this tournament's pretty brand new, right? I would say it came around 1999-ish, or it's been around 15 years now. To me, it's all about FIFA making money. It's another opportunity for us to watch something during the summer where nothing was really going to go on for the football world. To me, I enjoy this because I like watching international football, and I like to see new talent coming up and see who might be in the World Cup that has an opportunity now. That if they don't have this tournament, they might not have the opportunity to show that they should be part of the World Cup team. So that aspect of it I do like, but to me, the Confederation Cup is a joke. It's not necessary.
So I would say, is it relevant now? Just like the Europa League, it depends on the size of the team. Like Chile are there with their full squad, and they're going there to win it. Yeah. And same with Cameroon, they seem to be trying, and teams like that. But a team like Germany, they want to rest their players. Yeah. And for Chile, this is a great trophy to win. This would be 3 summers in a row with a trophy. Yeah. So they want to do that. They want to keep up the momentum. Another reason I like it, now I know it's a moneymaker. I mean, clear FIFA, that's what they're about. But the reason I like it is because you look at this prospect team, and if you guys watch that game against Australia, Julian Brandt, I mean, he had a ridiculously good game. You just see players you wouldn't see break through on the German national team.
Marcus, I have a question for you about that team. Who I don't know his name, but I just know his number 8. He played midfield. Who is
Leon Goretzka? He's from Schalke.
Yeah, he looked like a nice prospect. He's a talented player.
Very good player. Very good. Now, see, that's the thing, man. You get very many good players who come out of Schalke. They're known for their youth academy, and if you guys know, Mesut Ozil came from there. So this guy, Leon Goretzka, and Max Meyer right now, who's looking to move to the Premier League. But this whole team is the German team right now. They're all like 22 years old. So I would tell you guys, if you can watch the Chile game on Thursday, that should be an enjoyable game to watch. I mean, Alexis Sanchez, full strength Chile squad versus this young team.
Well, yeah, I might tune in. But I also asked because, again, referring to ESPN FC, a couple of days ago, I saw that there was a discussion about this tournament perhaps not even existing next time around. There's talks about them just wiping the tournament and making it a club tournament. Well, what are your thoughts on that?
A club tournament?
Yeah.
So when would the players get a chance to rest?
They need a chance to rest, man. They need more rest. I mean, look, they already play 60 games in a season, and then you go to the World Cup. I mean, no wonder Marco Reus has been hurt 3 years in a row.
To me, I look at football and I look at other major sports, and like the summer periods they have, like football is pretty much so you start preseason in July, and the seasons pretty much don't end. If you
December.
play top clubs, they don't
January
end until
1st is your last regular season game.
No, but I don't say that. No, you look at this. All right, preseason starts in July, right? The season doesn't end till if you play for a top club and you play in the Champions League final, you don't end till this year was the first weekend in June, and then
Yeah.
you because a World Cup year, okay, World Cup's from June to July, so you get 3 weeks off for the whole year as a football player, compared to other major sports where you're getting basketball, you're getting the whole summer off, baseball, you get the whole winter off, football, you get the whole
Spring,
off.
summer off.
You know, right? So it's like if you look at that, like there's a lot more wear and tear on the body as a football player. Though then you might not be taking as much physical contact compared to like a football player, but to run that long for 90 minutes at that pace and it's a tremendous take on your body.
Well,
as
that's
well.
why Löw brought this German squad. Obviously, wants to see what the others are made of, but I mean, only maybe 3 of these guys or 4 of them are actually gonna maybe even play in the World Cup. I
You
mean,
make the
maybe
squad.
even play. Like Kimmich, he's the only one I can see starting.
Yeah.
That's the only one.
But
Or
I
Hagenport.
don't think he'd even start.
I think Kimmich
He'll
will
be in the
start,
squad
but
though.
He'd be in a squad, but I don't think he'll start though. Remember, he
who's
still got.
who's gonna play right back?
Well, I forgot he plays right back, right? Yeah, but you can
Yeah.
play. You can play Rudiger there. I like him there. Yeah, he's
He's a
talented.
good player.
He's a good center back. But I mean, again, who's starting over Boateng and Hummels? I mean, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
Tough for anybody to break in, and then a left back. That's where the competition is open.
that's always
So-
been the competition for German squad.
Yeah, you have Hector from Köln, and you have Plattenhardt from Hertha. So
Yeah. I also wanted to talk to you guys about the use of the VAR technology, because the Confederations Cup is the first major tournament that the VAR technology is being used, and so far, I mean, I'll just go ahead and state my opinion off the bat. I think it's shit. You know, I think it's pretty slow. I hate that the refs have to constantly refer to it. I think they have a long way to go before this is anywhere near perfect. And if they're thinking about using this for the World Cup, it's gonna be a huge flop. That's my thoughts on it. You know, I mean,
too soon for the World Cup.
yeah, I mean, how could you? They have a long way to go. You know, I'll allow you guys a chance to speak first before I finish. But
To
Courtney,
me-
what do you think?
To me, if they're gonna use it, you gotta use it. You can't just use it for a major tournament where you're playing 5 or 6 games to see how it's really gonna work. You gotta use it throughout a whole football season to see the impact it's gonna have or the impact it doesn't have on games, results, or the whole season. Because we don't necessarily know what's gonna happen in the World Cup next year.
So you're saying that it's too short of a time period, this tournament, to really
Test it
draw any sort
Yeah.
of conclusion about it?
Because for us right now, we're seeing it so far. We watched, what was it 3 or 4 games so far, and we've seen how it was used, and we all hated it. To me personally, I don't like it in football. I feel like too much technology in football is not too good for the game. You still want the human aspect of the game. Yeah, of course, clubs are spending a whole lot of money to get decisions correct, and such of that nature. But
Yeah, give
For
me
me-
10 or so minutes.
for me, football's fun the way it is. Yeah, to me, I would put goal line technology. That's a good aspect because that's so clear to see if a ball crosses the line or it does not. But if you're gonna call for every offside or every foul in the box, like to me, that's still the momentum of the game. So I don't like it.
Well, the VAR, the problem I see with it is, well, the first of the con. The good news, I guess, would be it can either confirm a actual goal, it can rule a bad goal, or it can confirm a disallowed goal and restate it. So I mean, like the Lampard incident in the 2010 World Cup,
I remember that.
things like that
Yeah,
you don't like to see. But then again, some people like the controversy, and I realize that. Or even the Real Madrid versus Bayern second leg this year, where really Bayern got done. They got done hard. I mean, 2 goals offside, a bad red card. But with the VAR, now when it comes to that red card, right, that's a tackle. That's referee's discretion. Some people would see it as a red card, some people wouldn't. So that's a subjective thing. We shouldn't use replays for that. We should use replays though for black and white calls. So offside would be the only one other than maybe handballs, and that's already getting to too much of a blurry line. So I say goal line technology. If you can have a quick system where the computer can say like this offside or not to the linesman on his watch or something, maybe it can do every offside call. But for now, I would say VAR is way too early.
But my thing with that, right? Okay, if you had that with a linesman, necessarily, do you even need a linesman in the game anymore? Then, if you're gonna
For
use VAR
fouls, you wouldn't even want for fouls, for watching, for
oh yeah, that's fair.
handballs.
That's fair.
So I'd say offside, while it is 50% of his job, I mean it's a big field to cover for just one referee.
Yeah, but
so I mean, it
so
would be the-
my thing, so what you're kind of saying is, instead of the linesman calling for offside, you'd rather use the VAR system where
all
if
I'm
they
saying
said
is
something-
if they can figure out a system where it's like goal line where it's instant and on his watch, I don't know how it would work.
yeah,
It
that's
just
what I
says
think,
yes or no. It says yes offside, and he just raises the flag. That's the only other instance from goal line.
But
I would-
I can't see that happening with the offside, just because
Yeah.
remember the goal line technology is a sensor in the ball
yeah,
that kind of
that's the problem.
sensors, right? So,
I see. The problem too with VAR is time, and I don't want football to turn into any American sport with replays.
yeah,
That's the road I hope they don't go down.
My
I mean,
biggest fear
please.
right now.
Please, because then you're just gonna introduce a whole can of worms.
and
Oh
that's how I feel it is right now. I know that that's testing on the product, so it's gonna take time to get all the gigs and jigs
And
out of
they're-
it. But
And you know, FIFA has no problem ruining football. We can
Oh, no,
agree.
Yeah, it's so clear to see. You
They-
can't trust those guys. You just can't trust FIFA. But in the future, I can even, if this technology is allowed to stay similar to what it is now, I can see the Americans throwing in commercial breaks. I can
Yeah.
totally see that. They're
That's
gonna,
what I'm saying. Fear.
you're gonna be in the middle of the first half. There's gonna be a call that's gonna take 2 minutes to revise, and they're gonna
Yep,
go and show
they
you
go commercial, yeah.
a McDonald's
Yeah,
commercial or
yeah.
something like that. That's bullshit.
true.
I don't want to see the game turn like that, man. So I mean,
Right.
as far as I'm concerned, I'm against it. I have to say. But
See, goal line is good because goal line. I don't even know
So
why
quick,
I brought
yeah.
up VAR for Lampard because that was goal line right
like,
there.
yeah.
The Lampard and the 1966 World Cup incident
Oh yeah.
where Germany,
Yeah.
where Germany really shouldn't
Man.
have conceded that.
You
that
can't
was goal
take
line
away
as well.
England's precious 1966 World Cup, man. You want the English people to kill
I don't know, man. You see that picture? It was clearly on the line.
That's a sacred goal, man.
But you know, even Muller said after the Lampard thing, he said it's revenge, man. Revenge for
Yeah,
66.
that's true.
True. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, so
you know,
I think we can agree that VAR is a can of worms that we don't want to. That we don't want to.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
That goal line is enough.
Do you guys know if they'll be using that in the Gold Cup this year? Because I wasn't ever really
I don't.
sure.
I don't. But because UEFA still does not use goal line technology, and you have to remember that.
Wow.
So,
Cause they still have
so at
lights
the
on
Euros,
ball, right?
and they still don't use goal line technology in UEFA. So
Well, I mean, remember, Gold Cup is CONCACAF. So
yeah,
what
so
I
I'm
was-
saying CONCACAF might not even have goal line for all we know.
True.
But
I think they did. I think they did have it in the last Gold Cup.
no, they do. No, CONCACAF does, I believe, but I do not know. I didn't even know the Gold Cup was happening this summer, to be honest.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. It's one of those tournaments that, you know what it is? It's because no big countries are in it. I mean, that's
Yeah,
being honest. You know?
Unless
I
you're
wish
from the-
every
unless
4
you're from the-
years
Unless you're
they
from the
had-
islands, you don't really know about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I wish they had Copa Centauro again.
Yeah.
That was a nice tournament, man.
That's
With
such a-
that was
US
such a-
hosting it.
That's such a made-up tournament, though. That to me, I'm so glad Argentina didn't even win that because that wouldn't even count to me.
Yeah.
That's such a
Yeah.
made-up damn tournament.
Well, they've always had that problem in South America, because all of the teams there automatically qualify, right? And then you have to invite, 2 or 3 other teams? Is that's how the Copa works, right?
Now it
because
does.
There's only what, 7 nations over there in South America? How many nations are there?
There gotta be more than 7.
There's more than 7.
on.
At least you got Brazil, Chile, Argentina,
Bolivia, Ecuador,
Colombia,
Colombia.
Peru,
Papua New Guinea,
Peru,
Papua New Guinea, is
Venezuela.
Venezuela.
But all of they. Oh yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure, but I know that they always have to invite teams in order to make up the number.
Did they always invite? Because I just know that
they
recently
always
they.
did. Jamaica has been invited. Costa Rica has been invited.
Yeah, but
Mexico.
that's just recent though, isn't it? They weren't in it before.
No, but I mean, if you even rewind to 4 or 5 years ago, whenever the last one was before this, Costa Rica was in it. I think the U.S. was in it as well. I know Mexico was in it.
Yeah, I just remember from the last probably like 3 or 4 years now that they invited CONCACAF teams to the tournament.
Yeah.
I think before it was just all South American teams.
South American teams. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I have.
I like that the CONCACAF teams are in it because it gives them opportunities to develop their game as well, right? And play better competition instead of playing.
Yeah, I mean, like
CONCACAF.
I have an interest in it simply because obviously Costa Rica is in it. But I have to say I have an added interest this year because of this wonder kid from the U.S. You know,
Yeah.
Pulisic. I have to say, as much as I hate to say that any American player is good, this kid, he's good. He's
But he's
good.
not even playing in the Gold Cup.
He won't be playing at all.
Oh, because Arenas didn't take him. Remember? I don't know if you ever seen it. Because he said he wanted to give him a rest.
Really?
Yeah, so he's not even in the tournament.
Oh shit! I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
that's
I thought he would be playing.
that's why this tournament. I mean, Neymar wasn't in the Copa Centenario last year, and
yeah.
now
Yeah,
Pulisic
because
isn't in this
Because
one.
it didn't mean nothing.
Oh shit! So what? I had no idea that he wasn't gonna play. Wait.
Yeah, because I think Bruce just wants to give him more reps. Remember, he's only 18, right? He spent a lot of games this year, and then he's a new coach coming in. Give him and he has a World Cup coming in next year, so give him an opportunity to kind of rest his body, meet the demands of the game. He's a still growing boy.
One
so
worry I have with Pulisic is that under this new Dortmund coach, he doesn't see time on the field, and yeah, if you don't see time on the field, you're not going to be properly ready for the World Cup.
I read
Oh,
he's
but-
actually pretty
full season.
excited about this guy though. He's pretty excited about the new coach.
But the way I look at it, if the coach doesn't play him, he'll be gone.
Yeah.
In
So
January,
he'll leave. Pulisic will leave. Remember, there's a lot of clubs linked to him. Remember, Klopp wanted him at Liverpool.
True. That would
So
be
they-
such
they
a
will-
cool move.
There will be clubs wanting and getting or calling him Dortmund for him.
Yeah. Well, I
It's-
mean, I think that he, regardless of whether he plays under the new coach this season or what, obviously, like Courtney stated earlier, he's still very young. He has some potential, more potential than I've seen an American player possess in quite a while. And I do include Landon Donovan and Clint Dempsey in that. You know, I think this kid, he's good. He's good. say
But we
the
have to
very
realize that Donovan, he was on loan at Bayern Munich for half a year and made one appearance off the bench. Clint Dempsey, I think, after
He had a
Pulisic
good
now,
run.
I think Dempsey had a good run at Tottenham and a good run at Fulham. And
I would say he had
he scored 50
better
plus
run at
goals.
Fulham, yeah.
Yeah, but he scored 50 plus goals in the Premier League. That's a very good haul.
Yeah.
And and now he's got a huge contract in the US, so
Make that money, right?
Hey,
so
well,
I can
guys-
see Pulisic doing well.
Guys, obviously it's been an extremely interesting conversation, but just to sort of cap off the show, I wanted to end it with your dream 11. If you were to build a team, you know, in this current market, I have to say Courtney gave me the idea, which I thought it was pretty good, so I did throw it in there. If you were to build an 11 that would challenge for the league and the Champions League, and you can use your own club, you know, who would you build? It was Courtney's idea, so I'll allow Courtney to go first.
Well, to me, when you're building a team, the first thing you gotta have in place is a philosophy of how you want your team to play. You gotta look at the business aspect of the game as well now too, where like how you want to spend the money, you want to spend it in the academy. To me, I like youth players as well. So for me, like I like playing the young players. Also, you want some experienced lads in this team too. The style I would play would be a pressing style, an attacking side of football. Another is so like Mourinho, just sit back and park the bus style of football. No, I don't agree with that. That's not football. So for me, I play more pressing style of football, defensive wise, and then attacking football, attacking through the middle, using the flanks. To me, my preferred formation would be a 4-3-3. So
Yeah. Very straightforward attacking style.
yeah, there's one hole in midfield, make these guys attack, and have the wingbacks pushing forward. The hole in midfield covering, midfield attacking, and pure goal scorer up top. Somebody that can hold the ball, link play.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a sec, Dad.
Alright, well, Marcus, quickly, what would you say?
So dream team would have to strong defense first and foremost. To be a 4-2-3-1.
You
So-
like those holders, man. You like holders.
I like the holders, man, and then the number 10. You gotta have that number 10. Yeah, so pressing most of the time, sort of pressing, and then also being able to counter quickly. Everybody drop back quickly, and then when need be, possession to kill any sort of momentum. But yeah, if I had to choose an easy team, I mean, now if we're talking about 11, Neuer in goal is the clear.
Of course.
This guy, of course, it would be Neuer.
Right back, Danny Alves.
Hey,
then-
Danny makes it.
And then I would put Boateng and Hummels. Good partnership.
No,
In
give me a
This
break.
is a whole German. You might as well
Hey,
just say the
Marcelo.
German national team.
Marcelo left back.
Yeah.
Marcelo left back. And then Kroos is one of the holders. I'm trying to think of the other holder, man. It's a difficult one for that other main holder there. Kroos and
If we're naming teams like that, you see how you name your back four? I'll name my back five with the keeper. So I said De Gea, of course.
it's better than Neuer. Come on, man. No way.
to me, he's a better shopper than Neuer.
Most complete goalkeeper has to be Neuer, though.
Yeah, but I
And
think
set pieces, the guy is ridiculous. I mean, he's big as hell. He's intimidating. I mean, he's confident.
to me, De Gea can distribute the ball good, and I think he's a better shot stopper than Neuer. So some of the things I see De Gea make, that's all I need my keepers to do. I don't worry about you sweeping and all that. My defense will be able to do that. My right back. Can we say Lamb still or no?
Lamb?
Yeah, I know he's tired.
I'm so tired, man. This is the first.
Alright, Lamb's out. Alright, my center backs would probably be. I would say Hummels. I would say Hummels.
Yeah,
man.
But
Hummels and Bonucci.
yeah, Bonucci would be another choice.
My left back, I'd probably play Chiellini at left back because he can play there too. Right back,
Exposed by the speed, man.
huh?
You'd get exposed by Messi.
Not necessarily because in the back three, remember he covers a lot of ground on
Yeah,
there too,
true,
right?
true.
So
True.
in the right back, I'd have to say he didn't play right back this year, but he had a great year for Chelsea. That's Quinta. Yeah, he had a great year for Chelsea this year.
Yeah.
So I would put him at right
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, well. So, Marcus.
Alejandro, you should say your back five now.
I mean, my choice is easy. I mean, this is the easiest one here. I mean, I just play the Real Madrid 11 and call it that. That's it. We win everything and done. Simple as that. Well. The starting team for Real Madrid, that's it. Minus Cristiano
One thing
Ronaldo,
I would do-
I would swap in for Messi. Simple as that.
To be honest, though, I like Sergio Ramos. He's a good player at Madrid, but he's not defensively minded. He's not the best, if we can agree on that.
That's true. Yeah,
I mean, you can name 5-6 center backs who are better
better than him
defending.
defensively. Yes.
I mean, my goodness, the guy is stupid too with red
Yeah.
cards. He's not
Careless.
smart. Lam has been red carded 0 times in his
The
career.
funny thing is, I
So-
prefer Ramos as a right back. I know he plays center back now, but I remember coming to the game, he was a right back. I loved him at right back.
Well, I love the guys. The guy has he's so hot blooded with like headers, man. I mean, he's a beast at that. He's a now. If I had to tell you my attacking three, it would be Messi, Ronaldo on the wings, and then Mesut Özil at the number 10, and then of course Lewandowski up top.
What a squad! What a
What a
squad!
squad.
Taking over
I-
here.
My three midfielders would be. I gotta put Conte.
They are there.
Conte's my home and so all my guys can do is
Yeah,
attack
it'd be
him.
Cruz and Kante for me as well. Mine would be
Conte-
Cruz and Kante.
Conte can cover too much ground, so I can just make all those guys attack and don't worry about anything.
Yeah.
I put Cruz in my midfield as well.
Toni Kroos is up there.
And I'd also put Modric there too. Like, 3.
That's my boy. That's my boy right there.
Attacking
Yo,
with
and
my
I
attack.
remember when Modric came to Madrid, I said we don't need him.
Me too.
And now look at it.
Yeah. Because he wasn't that kind of player. That's why I thought.
Well, his first season it was weak, and then he turned into a keystone.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Well, the front three, I'm taking Barca's front three MSN, so that's just simple for me. So, but
No
MSN,
Cristiano Ronaldo, man.
MSN all day.
Everyone says Cristiano Ronaldo's done. Right? First half of the season, he struggled. I can agree with that. He struggled for goals first half of the season. Hat-trick Bayern. Hat-trick Atletico. 2 goals in the final. The man's the beast.
I'll tell you what,
It's incredible.
I'll think about United right now. I'll think about United right now, but to me, I just like the continuity between the front three at MSN, though.
Yeah. Well, guys, thanks a lot again for helping me out with the first show. I really appreciate the help. Marcus Lonazak, definitely thanks for coming in. You'll hear from this guy again for sure. Courtney Walton, my boy from Ever Since Ever. Appreciate it, guys. Much love.
Well, no problem.
Peace.
All right, take care.
Peace.
Messi. Oh. Messi.
Messi! Are you kidding me? A work of art! This man is absolutely mainline to pure footballing magic that belongs in a different galaxy altogether.
Left to go in the first half. Ronaldo, whose free kicks have been a bit erratic this year.
Magical.
This one drops in.
Are
And
you
forget
kidding
erratic.
me?
It's ecstasy.
Astonishing! This is not just a dream, it's a wet dream of orgasmic proportions.